So I wanted to do a quick video. Hopefully, I made notes this time, so hopefully I can do this swiftly. So I wanted to talk about some of the lessons I've learned over the past year and just kind of share some tips as well as lessons that I've learned that I feel like will help other people. Um, so okay. Um, so some of the things I've learned that have helped me to transform my reality. I'll say it that way. The first one is people will do what you allow. I used to not really fully understand this concept because I would be like, no, people just be doing crazy stuff and I don't really have any control over that. That's definitely not true. Um, People will absolutely do what you allow them to do because you always have the option to remove your presence from their lives slash remove them from your life. Um, I don't want to be too detailed, but I've definitely had situations where I felt like somebody was doing something to me and keeping me from a particular reality that I wanted to create for myself. But it was mainly because I wasn't willing to let that person go. That person wasn't really willing to do what it is that I wanted them to do within our partnership. And so me remaining there and me allowing them to continue to do that was really that was me. That was my issue. And that folds into the other point that I made note of, and that is healing childhood wounds. So because I grew up in a family where my parents very strongly overstepped boundaries with me and disrespected me in ways that some people may consider a common or consider normal, I realized as an adult that those things were not normal. And so me, that became a reality. So basically, you kind of really create relationships based on how your parents treated you. So it's like, people always say like you date your parents or whatever. So it's like because I had negligent parents, I attracted negligent partners, I attracted negligent friends in my adult life. And so, hey, friend, um, I recreated that. And because what helped me to stop creating that pattern was I did childhood wound work. I worked on my inner childhood wounds through different modalities, some being working with a therapist, some meditation, and some other stuff. But I worked on healing those wounds, and I don't even feel like I'm fully done with that process. But I've made tremendous strides over the past year because I started to realize, you know what, my mom used to always do this, or my daddy used to always do this, and every single one of these people that I dated, or some of the friends that I had would do this to me too. And I had to realize that that was a learned behavior, right? So of course, if you grew up in a household where my wrap is falling, where you're always treated a certain way, that behavior becomes normal to you. No matter how abnormal or how toxic it is, that behavior becomes normal to you. So you keep allowing it because you keep thinking that this is normal. Even though it may be hurting you, you don't realize that it's you continuously maintaining the same things that you were taught as a child. So number one was people do what you allow, and that you should remove yourself or remove people or remove yourself out of environments from where you are either allowing or accepting behavior, or putting yourself in situations that keep you doing certain things that aren't advantageous to you. So for instance, say you have a friend, or let's go love. Let's do love. Say you have a partner that they're really lazy. And so you're always like creating resumes for them. You're cleaning up after them. You're always like helping them do stuff. And maybe like as a child, you always had to help your mom do stuff or always help your dad do stuff. That's learned behavior for you. So you may not realize, you may get to be 30 years old and be like, dang, I'm always tired. I'm always helping people and stuff like that. I don't know why it's always like this for me. And it's because you learned that behavior as a kid. So you keep doing those things for other people because that behavior has become normal for you because that's your mindset. Either your mindset was, I always have to help people in order to get love. So you keep doing that as an adult and you keep getting those same results. People who take from you, people who always want you to do stuff for them, they never do anything bad for you. So there's really those main 2 points. Number one, people do what you allow. And number two, healing childhood wounds so that you can break those patterns of doing things that you learned as a child that may be unhealthy. Number three, focus on yourself. A lot of people, primarily black women especially, are not taught to focus on themselves. They're always taught to put others first. And one thing that I learned is putting others first is a form of self-disrespect. This was like some deep stuff that really clicked with me. Because if you don't take care of yourself, and I'm not just talking about taking baths and getting your nails done, getting your hair done, that's a part of it. But if you don't put your needs first, so I'll use the same example as I was using. Say you don't feel good, right? Or you're going through something, but you get up and go help somebody do something because they asked you to do it, right? It's a form of self-disrespect. You're not even in a good place to be doing anything for anybody. You might need to take a nap. You may need to get yourself something to eat. And I know I used to do stuff like that. I used to be like hungry, knowing I need to get something to eat. And I would still go and do stuff for people and be hungry and grumpy while I'm doing it. And then be mad after. Like, I can't believe she asked me to come help her do that. And I'm hungry. Like, first of all, the person didn't know you was hungry. And two, you could have said no. Like, duh. But it was a learned behavior. Like, put others first. Put yourself last. Be selfless. Be humble. Like, all this BS that we're taught can be very unhealthy. And so one of the things that I learned on a personal level was to not only was to put myself first, but to put myself first because I'm not good for anybody if I'm deprived, depleted, in any form or any way. I can't be a good friend. I can't be a good partner. I can't be a good mom if I'm not taking care of myself and putting myself first. And like I said, putting others first is a form of self-disrespect. So as you continue to put yourself first, you're going to attract more people in your life and more situations into your life, which could be jobs, which was my testimony, where you are constantly being taken advantage of because that's what you're telling the universe that you want because you're putting yourself last. As you start to put yourself first and set boundaries, you'll find that you'll create more situations and attract more relationships where people value you and put you first or consider your needs because you're considering your needs. Another thing I learned, number four is to form your own opinions. An example that I use for that is a lot of people talking about the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm not going to go real deep on it because this is part of the point. Do your own research instead of just following along with the crowd. You may find out that an organization you're supporting or cause that you're supporting is funded by a racist white person and no money is even being used for helping anybody. You may find that you're getting advice from somebody who doesn't even know what they're talking about. Like, do your own research, seek other avenues for information, learn things on your own, try to learn some things on your own. If you pray or meditate, ask God to send you people or resources so that will give you the right information. Don't just take things at face value. People could tell you anything for their own personal vendetta. One of the things you'll find is certain people who are people sometimes wonder how narcissists are people who are very self-serving, seem to be successful in certain arenas in their life, and it's because they put themselves first. It's because they only care about what's best for them. They'll lie to you and tell you something is $10 when it's really $1. Why? Because they're putting themselves first. They want $9. They want that extra $9, so they're just gonna lie, or they're just gonna do whatever is best for them. And so you have to kind of have that mindset. I'm not saying be evil, but that's why part of why it's important for you to do whatever is best for you, because other people are doing what's best for them. So always make sure you form your own opinions. Don't take anything at face value. Because one of the things I say all the time is when people show you who they are, believe them. So if somebody gives you an inkling, say you meet somebody and within 2 weeks you find out they're lying about something, if you choose to continue that friendship with that person and they lie again, there's no question that that's part of that person's character. Like, that's what they do. So you choosing to remain friends with that person or whatever with that person, that's just what they are. Like, I had a coworker who recently called me about a former organization I used to work for, and she's like, I just can't believe that, this person at this company is doing this. And I was like, well, they did that to me. So if you can sit there and watch this person do that to somebody else, how could you not think that that's not a part of that person's character and that they'll do it to you? You know what I mean? Like, pay attention to that. I was just talking to my mom yesterday about somebody who is in a partnership with somebody who has a pattern of doing certain things. So for that person or anybody to believe that they're above being treated that way is kind of goofy. You know what I mean? Like, that person has already proven that they beat all their exes, or they desert all their exes, or they have kids with people and disappear. Like, that's what they do. That is, what I'm saying? Pay attention to patterns. So form your own opinions. It doesn't matter if somebody tells you, oh, I don't cheat. Oh, all my baby mamas is crazy. Oh, every job that I've had, it's been the boss. If you see a pattern of behavior, then that's what it is. You know what I mean? It's not all these other external factors. It's what you're seeing. One of the things that my Yolosha always says is believe with your eyes. So believe what you're seeing. If you're seeing a pattern or something, that's what it is. So form your own opinion. It doesn't matter what that person is saying. It more so matters what they're doing. So if you keep seeing a repeated pattern of behavior, or you keep seeing the media tell you certain stories, that's just what that person does. But if you are seeing something differently than what you're being told, or what you're sensing, then that's just what it really is. So definitely, trust your intuition, trust your gut above anything, which is another point of, like I said, focus on you. That's something that you learn to do through meditation and spending time with yourself. Another thing that I learned, number 5, is to build a team. Building my team has consisted of me working with energy healing therapists, an actual therapist. Oh, hey, I was just about to talk about you. My energy healer just came on the live. Her name is Rabe, and she's amazing. So build your own team. So you want to build a team of people that are around you are all positive. So I'm not even going to sit up here in front. Like, I stopped talking to a lot of my friends that are always broke. Like, I don't want to be around y'all. I love y'all, but I don't want to be around y'all because that's a mindset. And so I don't really like being around people that are just like, oh, I don't like to do this because that costs too much money. Or, oh, I don't like to do this because that's what rich people do, whatever. Well, bitch, I want to be rich, so I'm gonna be around people. I'm gonna follow people, whether that be through social media or through taking classes with people that are where I want to be. Because if I monitor their behaviors, one thing that you'll find is a lot of people who have the same outcomes do the same kinds of things. So if I see, oh, everybody who talks about, or everyone that I know who's wealthy does stock investing, maybe I need to learn stocks. You know what I mean? Something that I did, start to teach myself, and I'm still learning. But I start to teach myself because I'm like, okay, well, all of these people that I know that are wealthy have investments. Or all of the people that have successful marriages, they do this. Everybody who has really successful children, they all raise them like this. I watch them and I try to mimic whatever they're doing because that's what I want to do. You see what I'm saying? So if you're going to be around people who are always struggling, who are always broke, who are always putting themselves in bad situations, bad things are always happening to them. If you hang around them, they say you're the top 3 to 5 people that you hang around. So I stopped hanging out with people that were always having who are always having particular problems. Now, I'm not going to say if my friend goes through some stuff, I'm not going to be their friend. But there are certain people that I know that keep having the same issue. It's like these people who are successful, they always seem to be successful with the things they want to do. So I try to align myself with people who are successful, who are doing well, who are doing certain things, because I'm gonna tell you, I've had certain things happen, and I'll ask somebody who I know is kind of fucked up for advice, and then I'll ask the person who is just like stunting on everybody for advice, and it's a world of difference. And some of the people who are jacked up, they it's because it's because of their mindset, and you can tell that by asking them certain questions about how they go about doing things. And so I just try not to even deal with those type of people. Another thing you can do, again, if you pray, if you can ask God to remove some of those people in your life, and you may be like, dang, she was really fun to hang out with. But okay, she was fun to hang out with, but this person always had you drinking, or this person always had you pulling up at somebody's house, or just always had you in bad situations. And God, the ancestors, whoever you work with may remove that person from your life because you didn't realize how this person was distracting you. So I like to be around people who are focused and who are taking care of business, because like I said, I've been with people who just had me off my game and would not tell me to do dumb stuff, but yeah, they would advise me, like I would be doing something that I felt like was good for me, and because they were so negative, or because they just had such jacked up energy, they would be like, why are you doing that? Why you like one of the perfect examples that I kind of clicked with me as I got older. It's like I had so many people telling me not to go like to Spelman, and that was one of the things that I didn't realize when I was younger that I was doing, is I was trying to align myself with wealthy people. I mean, it's a private school. It's really expensive. It was in a different environment, and a lot of people were like, just go to school here in Texas. And I was like, I don't want to be around y'all. I'm trying to get this Atlanta energy in my life. And like I said, I was 18 years old. I didn't know what I was doing. But, it's that same type of mentality. Like, no, I'm trying to go over here and do this. I'm not trying to, no shade to community colleges that saves you money. But I was like, I don't want to be at community college with everybody I went to high school with. Like, that doesn't fulfill my desires. I want to be in a place where people are acting, doing music, successful. We got a black mayor, stuff like that. I wanted to be around that. So I energetically and physically removed myself from that environment and went somewhere. But a lot of the people who are still doing the same thing they was doing 12 years ago didn't want me to go there, because again, a lot of people who are very negative or don't progress in life, they want to keep you with them. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of like a black hole. They want to suck you in and keep you there. And so that's part of why I began building a team. I got me a therapist who was doing her thing. I got me an energy healer who was doing her thing. I got a spiritual leader who was doing her thing. I have a few lifestyle experts that I follow and have consulted with, paid really good money to work with them because it was worth it, to speak with them and see how they navigate their lives. They do not do things the way poor people, the way people in my family do things, like, and that's part of why they have a different reality, because they have different behaviors. So it was definitely, something that I wanted to be around. So somebody asked me, do I feel like Spelman was worth it attending HBCU? Absolutely. I went to high school in a white town. It was kind of mixed a little bit at my high school, but it was a very racist white town. My older sister, I didn't grow up with her. So for me, being around other black women who were doing things with their lives was something I wanted. And so being around them, having primarily black professors, and seeing black women in power was something that was very empowering for me. It does something to your psyche to see that all the time. It does something to your psyche to every time you go to an event, there are black students speaking eloquently. It does something to your mindset to be around other black people who are wealthy. You know, it changes how you behave and how you think. So I absolutely think it was worth it. And it being at HBCU, yeah, I do feel like it was worth it because I got to be around Black excellence, and I got to be like my classes. So at one point during my matriculation through college, I left Spelman to have a baby, and I was gonna go to school back in Texas, and I had started going to school in Texas, and so I was taking those classes and at a school in Texas, a university in Texas, and yeah, I mean the subject matter is totally different. They're not gonna talk about African history. They're not gonna tell you. It's like going to high school. Like the stuff they talk about versus going to HBCU. You know they're gonna dig deep and they're gonna talk about the truth. And so I learned so much stuff that I didn't even know. Like one of the things I learned that kind of opened my mind because I had always went to like public school with you know all races versus being at a Black school. Right, I had never done that before. So like some people go to Black high schools or Black institutions. I didn't do that. I went to high school, public high school with all different races of people. A lot of times, sometimes majority white people. So that was one thing too. Like if I did, a lot of times when I was in the gifted programs at my school, I was like the only Black girl or I was the only Black person. Period. So being at Spelman was different because I was with nothing but other intelligent Black people. That's the classes at Morehouse and Clark Atlanta too. So one of the things that I learned that I never learned in school, again, 18, 19 years old, I learned that Christopher Columbus wasn't the first person over here. I mean, literally, that's as simple as hell, but like blew my mind. That's all I taught. That's all I learned in school. So that's just like a microcosm of what Spelman did for me and the things that I learned. But yeah. So just to recap real quickly, I talked about my point one was people do what you allow. Point two was healing your inner child wounds so that you can modify your behaviors that you were taught as a child. Number three was focus on yourself, and that putting others first is a form of self-disrespect. And then I talked about number four, form your own opinion about things. Do not always take things at face value, and also monitor where you're getting information from. Number five, I talked about building a team, which is what I'm talking about now. So you want to literally engulf yourself in being around other people who have wealth, who have money, who have families, or whatever it is that you want to engulf yourself in that, which is really a form of college, a form of higher education. It's a form of study. It's a form of self-mentorship. If you only hang out with people who fix cars, you're going to learn how to fix cars. If you only surround yourself with people who are really, really good with kids, you're going to learn a whole lot of stuff about kids. So whatever it is that you want, surround yourself with people like that. I've even heard people, like I consulted with somebody, hopefully she don't get mad at me, but I consulted with a wealth lifestyle expert. And she was just like, where do you go every day? And I was like, well, I go to the store and I go to work and this and this and this. And she was like, why aren't you going to networking events? Why aren't you going to galas? Why aren't you going to events about financial investing, stuff like that? And I was like, whoa, blah, blah. She was like, look, 3 days a week, you need to be going to places so that you can be around people that are doing what you want to do. How else are you going to meet people? Because, of course, you're going to meet people with those that are either successful at it or they're trying to do it too. And so you basically surround yourself. You create a vortex of whatever it is that you want around yourself through that. It's like you can sit and you can dream about it and you can manifest it, but you have to go out and do stuff, right? So if you're trying to manifest a house, why would you not go talk to a real estate agent? Why would you not go to a home buying seminar? Why would you not go out and view homes? You know what I'm saying? You have to surround yourself and you have to be in that, what it is that you want. So that was something that I have done in the past and things that I continue to try to do to manifest certain realities for myself. Like the apartment I lived in now, when I came and viewed these apartments, I don't even want to tell y'all how much money I had. I know I didn't have enough money to move, but I went out and I looked for that. So make sure you do that. And then when you find people that are, on the vibration you want to be on, if you can't hang out with them, follow them on social media. Watch what they're doing. Watch other people that do similar stuff. I can't even tell you how many feminine energy videos I watched, and I was trying to shift out of masculine energy. You have to just constantly listen to and try, because you're retraining your mind for whatever it is that you want. So I had to do that. I used to really have a very strong hold on my mind, but I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. And then I had to realize this is why I'm not doing this shit, because I don't believe it. So I started listening to Abraham Hicks. I started listening to Reverend Ike. I started listening to like different law of attraction, prosperity type people to shift my mindset out of thinking that it's impossible for me to do whatever. And then I'm working with certain spiritual practices that are focused on wealth. And then next thing I know, I was working only 3 days a week, making more money than I've ever made. And really having fun. Got to kind of do whatever it is that I wanted to do, honestly, for the most part. And that's when I realized, wow, I've been holding myself back by feeling like I got to go to work. I got to work at a desk. This is the only respectable job. And that was a form of me doing things that I felt like, because I've done this a lot in my life, was acceptable to other people. So there were a lot of things I wanted to do, but I didn't do them because I was like, well, what's my mama gonna think? Or what are my friends gonna think? Or what does it look like? I have a mom and I'm out here doing this, or I'm out here doing that. Like, I had to just be like, again, form your own opinion. I was like, well, I really want to do modeling. I really want to do this. So I just went and did those things because they made me feel good, and I had to stop caring about what other people, like, the longer I cared about what other people think. And again, this was a childhood mindset that I had to break, of you have to do things to appease your family. So I had that really, really bad. I wanted to do things to appease other people in my family because I felt like it was the right thing to do. Not saying you should disrespect your family or your lineage, but, if somebody told me, matter of fact, I had a family member tell me, you need to go to school for computer science because that makes a lot of money. I'm not good at math at all, and I'm not really a computer or tech person. Had I done that, I would probably be miserable right now. But I still did certain things that I felt like my family wanted me to do, and it did make me miserable. Like, I have held jobs for so long that I hated because I felt like it was acceptable that I had a regular 9 to 5, and I had a badge around my neck. I clocked in, and I just felt like that was cool, but I was unhappy, So I had to kind of break that whole mindset of like doing things to make other people happy. Because again, it's a form of self-disrespect. You have to do what makes you happy. You know what I mean? That is what is the best for your family, is for you to do what makes you happy. Yeah, I didn't realize it was like a subconscious program. I didn't realize like I was doing this. Well, I gotta do this because I don't want my mom to be mad. I don't want to. It's like it kept playing in my head. I didn't realize that was the script that was playing in my head, and that's why that childhood wound work was so important. Because I would do things and even not do things because I did not want somebody, quote unquote, to be mad at me. And it was crazy. And at one point, I just wake up and be like, damn, like, bitch, you grown. Like, you grown as fuck, and you worried about making somebody else mad and, or making somebody else uncomfortable, but you uncomfortable. Again, not putting yourself first because you care about what other people think. So I had to kind of get out of that mindset. And that goes into my last point. 6 is manifesting. Your mind is manifesting. Your mind is powerful, and reconstructing your mindset. So it kind of really encompasses everything I was saying. Your mind is very powerful, and like I said, me constantly feeling blocked and feeling like I can't, it was really me blocking myself because I felt like I couldn't do certain things because I don't want to say it was wrong to do them, but because I was afraid of being weird. I was afraid of other people having things to say about me. I was afraid of being questioned. I was afraid of other people's opinions. And I had to just be like, you know what? I don't care if it's weird to somebody else. that I want to do this thing. It's what makes me happy. It's what I want to do. I just had to really like sit down and think about what I really like to do and what was important to me and do those things. No matter if other people were like, well, you have a degree, why are you modeling? Like, I was just so worried about that. Like, even one thing that I did, and like I was literally just talking to my partner about this. Like, I would be like, well, there are certain businesses I haven't done because I would be like, I felt like I would be criticized because it's like, oh, she's starting another business. You know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? Like, if somebody else is questioning why you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 businesses, you know what I mean? Like, it really doesn't even matter because some of those people aren't even buying anything from you. So why do you care about somebody having something to say about you being a chef, then being a mechanic, and then you are a stunt double, and you make t-shirts. So what? You got 4 different streams of income. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you have to shift your mindset from, dang, people are going to criticize me because I have all these different side hustles, to I have 4 different streams of income. Like, you see the shift in the mindset about that? You could either have a mindset of everybody's going to make fun of me, or this is different. This is going to keep me busy. This is going to bring money to me, and somebody out there needs these services. So who cares? Exactly, Emerald, exactly. But are you good at these things? You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I will say. Like, I learned a really hard lesson probably about 8 years ago when I lost my first job out of college. And that's actually when I started my shift to entrepreneurship. I started making candles and body scrubs because I was like, I ain't never gonna get fired from somewhere or lose my job and not have another way to make money. Like, I felt dumb. I was like, dang, I never created another stream of money. I don't have a certification. I don't have anything else. And I'm just sitting here looking crazy trying to collect unemployment because I depended on my job. So now, honestly, at 31, I think people who depend on their jobs 100% are kind of like, I'm like, dang, you're not thinking, bruh. Because you can't. That's not even how society works anymore. And I got my wake-up call when that happened to me. So who cares if somebody thinks that? And if 2 or 3 of your different side hustles don't necessarily click, because I was looking up this one profession that I'm actually certified to do, and I saw that somebody did that, and they were a nurse, and they did something else, and I was like, this woman is doing it. She's in a totally different state, and she's doing this. She has 3 different jobs or businesses, and she doesn't care. That's probably why her business is thriving. She doesn't care about someone criticizing her. Like, to even be focused on being potentially criticized versus focusing on the kind of money you can make or the type of clientele you will attract means that your mindset isn't where it needs to be. So you're able to manifest. Anybody can manifest anything, and so your mind is powerful. And so I learned that a lot because I've manifested a lot of things in the past year. And I feel like the major point that shifted that for me from not manifesting the things that I wanted to manifesting things that I wanted almost down to the exact way was shifting my mindset about the things that I wanted. Instead of thinking that they were hard, instead of thinking, well, what is somebody going to think? Or, dang, I'm not going to, just thinking of the negative aspect of it versus thinking of the positive aspect of it, I was able to manifest easier and better. And one of the things that I was able to do with my manifesting, I'm going to just tell y'all right now. I was manifesting certain things, and there were certain things that showed up, but they weren't quite what I wanted. And there was a little piece of me that wanted to just accept it. Because, like, well, it kind of showed up, even though it's not exactly what I want. So I'm going to just go with it. I thought about it a few times. And then I called in some angels to help me. And I was just like, just make it clear to me if I should do this or not. And they told me no. And so I had to kind of like cut off that half-ass manifestation. And I had to, at one point I was like, dang, that was it. Did I mess it up? It wasn't that. It was almost like the universe was showing me, are you going to take this 80%, or are you going to cut off this and go ahead and keep manifesting, so that, because whatever you cut off, you're going to get more of, right? So if you want more clothes, one of the things you could do is actually give away some of your clothes that don't fit, because you're making room. It's a form of manifestation, like throwing away things that you don't need. Cleaning is a form of manifestation. And so I had to cut off certain relationships that weren't good for me, because I wanted particular friends. I wanted a particular lover. And so I had to cut off some of the people I was dealing with and change my mindset of thinking that there wasn't more. And I had to realize, like, there's no such thing as lack, right? So just because I cut off somebody that has 75% of what I want and they missing another 25%, if you cut them off, you're telling the universe, no, this isn't the friend for me. No, this isn't the boyfriend or girlfriend for me. And you'll get another manifestation of that thing or that person that will fit that criteria better. Because there's no such thing as not enough. There's no such thing as, oh, he's the only guy, that will take out the trash. No, there is somebody that will take out the trash and accept you and not criticize you. And you know what I mean? So I had to stop feeling like, well, dang, I gotta take this job because that's all I can get. No, there's another job that'll pay you more with less responsibility or less of whatever crap that's gonna come with that job. So I had to just but that was part of that whole thing of I don't have enough, that I had to kind of break apart of, and just really tapping into that law of attraction mindset. I know for a fact I have a few friends that are really, really powerful manifestors, and I bugged the hell out of them. Like, well, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. They were just like, just say that it's gonna happen, and just believe that it's gonna happen. You don't need to know how. Like, just believe that that situation is gonna be handled the way it's supposed to be. And it took me some time to adjust to that, because some of the situations have been very challenging. But lo and behold, I was able to manifest the past being cleared. I had to do some road opening work. I'm not trying to say I just sat around and just had like a little thought bubble above my head and it just happened. But I had to do some road opening work physically and spiritually. And the past did open up. But I had to shift my mindset from thinking that it was impossible to thinking that it was possible, and to stop ruminating on that middle part of, well, how is it going to happen, and what color is it going to be, and what's it going to look like, and what day of the week is it going to... None of that shit matters, man. You have to just believe, like, no, I can get a job paying me this much. Oh no, I can really manifest a friend, that is a good positive friend for me. Oh no, I can really attract, a mate. Oh no, I can really attract, what it is that I want. And like one of the things like I did a vision board, and I put some things on there that I'm not even gonna front. When I first put them on there, I was like, I don't even know how this is attainable. But I had to shift my mindset. Like, it doesn't even matter how anything could happen. Like, you have to kind of have that mindset of anything can happen on a positive spectrum. And something happened that was really, really bad, in my personal opinion, to me, that now, once I handled the situation, could actually be a very major financial and energetic payout to me, that I could actually be able to afford what it is that I put on that vision board. Because I was worried about the monetary aspect of it. Like, damn, how am I going to afford that? Even though I glued it on the damn board. But I was like, damn, how would I even? And I had to just be like, it doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter how. Well, something happened that once the situation is all handled, I'll probably be able to afford it and might have more money left over, depending on how everything works out. But I really like Abraham Hicks, because one of the things that she reiterates in her speeches is everything is always working out for me. And so sometimes I'll just say that over and over and over to myself, because you just have to believe that. Like, you just have to believe that And Neville Goddard is another law of attraction teacher that teaches to live in the end. So, okay, you don't know how you're going to buy a Mercedes Benz. It doesn't matter. Go test drive one, sit in it, and think about how that feels to be behind the wheel of that car and you looking at the emblem. You envision yourself driving up and down, your favorite street in that car. It doesn't matter how you got to that point. Just go be near the car. Buy yourself a little mini Mercedes Benz car and sit it on your altar or sit it on somewhere you can see it every day and or take pictures of them and put them on your vision board. Just believe that and immerse yourself in that energy. Like I said, go test drive the car, hang out with people that have Mercedes and see if they'll let you drive their car around the block. Just be around that energy and believe that it is possible for you. Don't get caught up on the minute details of how it's going to manifest. Just believe it, because I'm telling y'all, I've had some situations happen in the past year. I was like, how in the hell is this going to happen? And I just had to cut off that thought, because I'm like, at this point, it has to happen. Like, I'll tell y'all straight up, I drove from California to Texas on old used tires. Who should have been stuck on the side of the road? My ass. But I wasn't, because I just kept saying, I'm moving to Atlanta, I'm moving to Atlanta, I'm moving to Atlanta. Like, I literally printed out the seal of Atlanta and carried it in my purse. I didn't tell anybody about it, but I was just like, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing. And then next thing I know, an opportunity opened up for me to come, and it was just like crazy. And like I said, I drove by myself, mind you. Didn't nobody ride with a shawty, by myself on old used tires. And it was something that happened. One of my wheel covers popped off right before I was finna move. And I was looking crazy as hell. And I was just like, you know what? This is just a test of faith. I got this. So I'm expecting to pay some money, but I'm also kind of looking at my coins like, oh, you got to drive across the country. Gas is dang sure ain't cheap in California. And I went to this place by where I was living at the time, and I told him I needed to have the wheel cover put back on. I'm expecting him to give me a price. The dude was just like, oh, no, we got it. Give us about 30 minutes. I could have just sat there and been like, I can't drive. I got old tires. My wheel cover popped off. I can't. No, I just kept doing the steps. Kept, doing different things to get to where I needed to go. And then when I was almost here, during the trip, I slept at a family member's house overnight. And they was like, I know you've been driving, but you almost there. You're 5 hours away now. And they cashed at me some money. Didn't know that I was struggling. Didn't know I was counting them coins. Like, shit, how make this stretch? So if you keep taking the steps, believing, and then taking the actual steps, the universe will start to put things in your path to help you keep going. You just have to believe it. So you have two options. What I realized is you have two options. You can sit on your ass and you can be like, it's never going to happen. I can't. So I'm just going to just sit here and you ain't going to fucking go nowhere. Or you're going to start working toward whatever it is you need to do, asking people questions, getting in your car and driving, getting on your feet and walking. Because it's physics, it's scientific. Once you start moving, energy is never, it's not created nor destroyed. So either you're going to sit in stagnant energy and not move, and your atoms are not going to be vibrating and moving you forward, or you're going to put your atoms to work and start moving your body and your mind, and the universe will start doing things to help you get to where you need to go. So it's really up to you if you're going to let your energy just fester inside your body. You're not going to do nothing about it. Or you're going to get off your butt and you're going to start doing things to create your reality. And in the universe, or if you want to use the term God or the creator, is going to start doing things to help you. Because they're going to see, oh, okay, she was really serious about this drive. Let's give her some money. Let's do this. Let's find her somewhere to live. But it's all up to you. And if you subscribe to any type of faith or religion and you're not believing that you can do certain things, you're disrespecting the deity that you call your God, because you're basically saying they can't do it. So, but that's pretty much what I've learned over the past year and how I've changed my reality, and some tips for you to transform your reality. Because I'm telling you, I literally worked with this life coach for like 6 months, and I literally was like, I can't. I'm sure she got sick of me. Like, I'm sure she got sick of me. And I ended up transitioning to another person because that person stopped doing life coaching. Which is all a transition. It was during the eclipses last summer. It was time for me to cut her off and to move on to somebody else. And I got with a new person who was able to help me drive my momentum, affirm me, and like help me really change my mindset. Like, you can actually do this and get out of the I can't bullshit that I was on so hard. Oh, thanks, Brittany. I appreciate it, because girl, it's been real. It's been real. Yeah, hit me up, Camille, because I can send you to my therapist. She's amazing. She's really powerful and really dope, and she's a Capricorn, so she gonna tell you the truth, and she's about taking actionable steps. I love Capricorns for getting shit done. Like, they're the best. If you need to get some shit done, get you a Virgo or Capricorn. They gonna get some shit done, okay? But yeah, I just had to build a team of people that were good for me, that really wanted to see me thrive, and were doing things that were bombing their life, and I saw their lives improving. I saw them doing good stuff. Like, that's really key. Like, don't get no freaking marriage coach that has had 5 husbands unless she just is doing really good with this 5th one. Don't get no therapist whose life is in shambles. Don't, if she has a testimony and her shit is better than now, cool. Don't get no mechanic that's walking. You know what I'm saying? Like, get people that have proof that the things that they do in their life works. Please, like, and get away from people who just can't get it together. Let them go on their journey and heal and find their tribe. Yes. Okay, yes. Them Capricorns will get you together, okay? And they'll tell you about yourself if you're a hot mess. I'm a Scorpio, so I like constructive criticism, loving constructive criticism. And so, I really love my Capricorn therapist. Thank you. Yeah. Like, I think when I went to California, I said I was going to start modeling. I spoke it. And then I started posting in modeling groups. And the next thing I know, I have my inbox is blowing up with photographers that wanted to work with me, built a portfolio for free. And I mean, every weekend, literally for like 2 or 3 months, you can ask my friends in California, I was not hanging out with them on the weekends. I was going to photo shoots every single weekend. I had a full-time job during the week. I was just shooting, building my portfolio, meeting different photographers and stuff like that, and just working. And so I spoke it, I connected with people, and then I started putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? And the next thing I know, I'm modeling for a top luxury brand, and all over San Francisco, getting paid $40 an hour to do events and laugh and talk to people. So definitely speak what you want, write down what you want. Camille shared that as well. But believe it, and then put your foot to pavement, and you can manifest the things that you want. Yeah, Brittany, it can be like that sometimes. I can do that sometimes too. But that's why it's important to have somebody else to help you. 'Cause I know people think, oh, you help so many people. Okay. And guess what? I need help too. That's why I have a therapist. Like, yeah, I can help other people, but I also have a life. I have things I have to work on for myself. Actually, I feel like I would be doing people a disservice if I wasn't working on myself. The fuck I look like telling somebody else what they need to be doing, and I'm not looking at my shadow side. I'm not looking at my wounds. I'm not working on my shit. That's another thing too. Y'all be careful with these people that feel like they shit don't stink. And, oh, I'm this and I'm that. Okay. Do you have a therapist? Do you have a counselor? Have you done any self work? Do you meditate? Do you take any time to yourself? That's a aside right there, a little tidbit, because some of these people are crazy as hell. Because, like, my therapist has a therapist. Like, you see what I'm saying? So, yeah. Sometimes when you feel you help other people, but you can't see your stuff, sometimes you need another person to show you yourself. Because they see you in a way that you don't see you. You see what I'm saying? So I actually have a very close friend who always has called me the master manifester. And I would be like, yeah, right. But as I started to work on myself, I was like, you know what, you're right. I do be manifesting stuff out of thin air. But he saw something about myself that I hadn't noticed about myself because I was still in self-doubt. So, and sometimes you have to get out of that. Again, that's by the childhood wound, inner child healing and childhood wounds. Wound healing is so important because you sometimes see yourself the way your parents talk to you. Not the way they saw you, but the way they talk to you. And you don't even really see your full potential because you're still living in that space. Like, for a long time, I still thought and behaved like a 14-year-old because of just how my feelings were. Hello. Hey. So my sidekick is here now, but I'm done. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And if you want to know about... I have a surprise for you. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes the accountability thing can be... It can go either way.
I open it.
What is this?
New magic things.
For me?
Yeah.
That's super awesome. How many of them is it?
4.
So, yeah, just if you want my therapist information, I'll send it to you for sure. She's virtual, so you can, hit her up from anywhere. So I'll definitely send you guys that information. I'm always here to help. I like her energy and stuff. And for those of you who have seen it, you've seen that she's helped me a lot. And I've been working with her for about a year now. So my child is making noise. I guess that's it's over. Yes, it's done. So you guys have a good rest of your day, and I hope this has helped you all to make some shifts in how you do things and how to work on healing yourself. So peace out. Have a good Saturday.
Mommy,
bye.
This is yours.
I know it's mine.
Here, we have